Hello and welcome back to Football Now as we preview the latest round of Premier League fixtures. We're a YouTube channel where we run you through the latest games, the odds for the games, and give our own little predictions as well. We've got our own head-to-head ongoing here, me and Connor, which we'll get into in a moment. Before we get into the game subject to this video, as you can see, Fulham hosting Man United at 12:30 on Saturday. I want to remind everyone of the ongoing competition we've got going on here now at Football Now on our road to 100 subscribers. We're well past the 70 mark now, I think. So we're not a million miles away. As you can see on the screen, it says you can win a football shirt of your own choice. What you got to do is subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in this video or the other videos which we've done so far and which we will do in the future. The more involved you are, the more likely you are to win. Follow us on Twitter as well at footballnow_1. As you can see that at the bottom of the screen, that's where the decision will be announced. But yeah, the most important thing is subscribe and comment, get your name in the hat to win a football shirt of your own choice. As you can see, I'm joined as usual by Connor. Connor, how are you doing first of all?
I'm very good, thank you. Back in sunny old England. Good old Blighty.
He's been on a bit of a tour recently, but now he's back over here, and we're going to discuss today, as you can see, and as I mentioned at the start of the video, Fulham hosting Man United at Craven Cottage, 12:30, early kickoff on TNT Sports. I'm sure if anyone, you follow football, you'd have seen what happened to Man United last night. Before we get into that, Connor, do you want to discuss the odds?
Yeah, I mean, as expected, I don't think even the bookies know what to make of Manchester United at the moment. I mean, they have put them as slight favourites, but they've done that with absolutely no confidence whatsoever. It's just impossible to predict them at the moment, isn't it? I mean, Manchester United, it's just, it seems when they do win, they're just scraping by. And when they're losing, they're getting well beaten. We saw yesterday in the League Cup at Old Trafford against Newcastle, losing 3-0. Now, just Newcastle are a good team, but you wouldn't expect Manchester United to lose at Old Trafford 3-0 to anybody. It's just not acceptable. And it was the second consecutive 3-0 defeat at Old Trafford, because last week, of course, I lost the Manchester derby 3-0 as well. Prior to that, in the Champions League, Old Trafford narrowly beat Copenhagen 1-0. It took a last-minute penalty save from Onana to do that. And, even before that, 2-1 against Sheffield, who were getting beaten left, right, and centre. 2-1 against Brentford, two injury time goals. It's just, even when they are picking up the points, they are really just scraping over the line. It's a dire situation, and everyone can talk about, this, that, and the other about the owners, but listen, a fixture for Old Trafford isn't going to stop United being beaten 3-0. So people can use that as an excuse all they want. The fact of the matter is the team is performing poorly, and that comes from the manager all the way down to the players, and they have to take the bulk of the responsibility for what's happening on the pitch. So even though Manchester United do kick off favourites, then nobody's saying that with any confidence. I think the odds suggest that the bookmakers aren't saying that with any confidence. And you see there, Manchester United, they're not even in shot. And this is a good sample size now. We've played over 25% of the season. This is sitting there in 8th place, which is probably a bit flattering, really, when you look at the performances that they've had. A few lucky results, like I mentioned, the Brentford one there. With Fulham, I've been saying that they're not going to do too much this season, but it just seems like week on week they are just slipping down 12th, 13th, 14th. I don't know how to say this without sounding disrespectful. They're a bit of a nothing team this season. I don't really pay attention to what they're doing because, like I've been saying, I don't feel like they're going to get dragged into it, but they aren't going to compete for top table. So, I just think they're a team where they'll pick up the odd win, they'll pick up the odd points, and they'll be absolutely fine. But it feels like they're not playing for anything huge this season. That being said, though, at Craven Cottage against a struggling Manchester United, I expect them to give them a really, really good game, and I don't think they'll roll over.
No, I think Fulham picked up a good point last time out against Brighton, which we'll go into in a minute. I know they're home side, but I think it's natural to want to talk about Man United. You've mentioned the last two performances against City. Sorry, they weren't awful in that first half. They were in the game. I think I'm not, maybe not to the extent that some Man United fans will have you believe, but it was competitive. But that second half, they just got walked all over at Old Trafford, and
I think it was City's best performance.
Yeah, Yeah, City were outstanding as well, but they just Connor, I don't know about you. I'm sure you were the same when you were growing up watching Man United, the great Man United teams. You go into Old Trafford dreading it, even if you know how many times did you see them go a goal or two down, and you still felt as though you were facing an uphill battle. And now they just roll over. They look so soft. And I know you I think I agree with you. The owner situation. Sorry, of course, there's a bigger picture there going, but you can't blame. They can't take the sole blame for what's going on the pitch. Some of the defending was embarrassing. Like Haaland, if no one within 5 or 10 yards of him.
I can't believe that. If you've not seen it, watch Haaland's score from the header. It's just when the ball's crossed in, the players move towards the ball, but the ball's about 20 foot up in the air. They ain't going to get near the ball. And Haaland is the biggest goal threat, arguably, that we've ever seen.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's just left with about 5 or 6 yards of space. Wow.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. You saw Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville clash on Sky, after the game on Sky Sports, and I think both raised good points, but ultimately Neville cannot just completely keep resorting to this owner situation. There's some brilliant, they've got some good players there, Man United, and they're not showing it. They're awful. I think since we've been doing these predictions, it's been rare that I've actually backed them to win. I think I backed them to win once and ended up losing that game because I just don't think you can say with any confidence that they're going to win. And we do our predictions for this in a minute, but I'm going to say the same because it just feels like you'd be stupid not to to really back them at the minute. It's a strange situation there. And look, Ten Hag, again, it's not easy with what's going on above him, but if this carries on for a few more weeks, you do wonder how much longer it's going to be allowed to carry on for. I don't think he's sole to blame, but I don't think he's helped himself the way he's handled things off the pitch with Sancho and obviously Maguire, the way he's treated him. Yeah, it's a weird, it's a strange situation at United right now. I mentioned as well Fulham last weekend heading to Brighton away, and they did, they came away with a 1-1 draw. It's a brilliant result for them. I think a point away at Brighton is a great result for any side almost this season. And I think I read somewhere that the 7th time they faced each other in the Premier League, and Brighton are still yet to beat them. So, it's a remarkable stat when you think about it. But yeah, like you said, I think we've always earmarked Fulham as part of that mid-table cluster, which are not really going to threaten to go down, but also not doing much, in terms of the top half. But yeah, it's a great point for them. I'm sure Brighton would have been disappointed not to take the 3 points, seeing as that they were at home. Fulham also got a win in the cup, the EFL Cup, 3-1 away win to Ipswich. I think it was
Ipswich had a fantastic season as well.
Yeah, there you go. It's a great result for them there. They've got a chance. I think who is it they've got? Is it Port Vale they've got, or is it? No, it's Everton. I think they've got, hasn't it, in the cup?
I couldn't care less. It's a Mickey Mouse competition now, as far as I'm concerned.
Because Arsenal have been dumbed out. Yeah, I think it's Everton they've got. So I'm sure they'll be fancying their chances of getting into the semi-finals, a little cup run. I mean, if you'd offered that as a Fulham fan, a run in one of the cups well, we don't know yet, but they don't look like they're going to be in danger of getting dragged into.
Well, it's a thing now that will get them going this season, I think, because, like I said, I don't think they're going to be, at either end of the table. So I think when you're in that position, I think teams should be prioritising the cup, almost like a team like Crystal Palace. I think for a few seasons now, they should be prioritising the cup, because if you're not in danger, I know last season with Vieira there was a little bit, but teams like that should be moving it all into these cups and give the fans something to cling on to.
Definitely. Having said all that, do you want to give am I giving my predictions first? Do you want me to give
Yes, you give your predictions first.
Okay.
Didn't really happen that last week, but
Fulham, Man United. People are going to say this, I'm a Liverpool fan, but it seems like they're easy points there. I'm going to go 1-0 Fulham again. I just can't see. There's something going on there right now, and that rot looks like it's going to continue. It's just, it's a strange situation. It's a good situation to watch as a Liverpool fan. As you can see before Connor gives his predictions, we've got our own head-to-head table going on between me and him. I've pulled away a little bit again, 50 points, Connor on 39. You get 3 points for the correct score and 1 point for the correct result. Connor's going to be hoping to close that gap this weekend. And having said that, Connor, do you want to give your first prediction of the week?
Yeah, I said last week that, at the moment, the way things are, I can't ever predict Manchester United to win. I'm going to stick with that as well. So I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw. I don't think that Fulham have been fantastic as well. I think they've been okay and they picked up the good points here and there. But their last win in the Premier League was against Sheffield, and before that, you have to go back to 16th of September against Luton. So when they are picking up 3 points, they're picking up 3 points against sides you'd expect, i.e., sides that have come up. Even before that, you go back, it was Everton, another team that's down there. So their only wins are being picked up against teams that are down there. So yeah, I've not seen enough to say that they're going to beat Manchester United, but certainly I can't back United for the win. So I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw for this one.
That concludes our preview Fulham versus Man United. We're going to be doing videos for all the other games in the Premier League this weekend. So catch them on the channel and we'll see you over there.